Hello, God bless. This is Daniel Maximoff with another blog. Sorry about the haters. As you all are aware, I'm with um, at work as well as I study, so making videos hasn't been that much of a free time answer for me, if you will. So, anyways, today I wanted to talk about what's happening currently with Cuba, which has everybody in the United States hyped, and and now we're seeing a lot of a lot of gathering for support um in setting Cuba free from communism, which they have been for the last, I don't know, decade, 4 or 5 decades. I don't know. I'm not aware of Cuban's history, so I have to assume it has been several decades now that they have been, you know, enslaved in communism. So, and now we are in the year 2021, where everything is being revealed, everything is being exposed. Like, it feels like the end times where everything that was once hidden is now all known. And I'm saying it in various ways, but it's the same thing. But basically, it's ever since Trump took office, deep state, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, they all have been, exposed. And now we're in the hands of, actually, we are in the position in what we're going to do now about it. Like, and I don't know if you guys are aware, before the Cuban um, this with the Cuban government going that's happening right now, the Hong Kong government also had a protest, and well, that and the United States within itself, it was in, I don't know, with the Floyd moronic protest against cops, which hyped the whole nation, the Women's March, which hyped the whole nation. It's always, there's something about marches and protesting that somehow unifies people for all the wrong reasons, kind of like the moth to the light effect, and this is no different. So what I want to touch on is that it unifies both the Democrats and the Republicans, even though they are at war with each other in everything. Going back, it's like woman against woman, kid against kid, parent against child, child against parent, you name it. They're all at war with each other. So they're unified under this protest for the following reason: vaccines. You have to get them, or you're not saving anybody. Kind of like, or is it that, or what is, do they really do care about Cubans and Hong Kong and etc.? Because when a country does something different, it's like it's like, everybody wants to be part of it. But when I see these two entities which are at war with each other, some come together in unity under a protest that resolves nothing. Because let's be realistic, what has the Americans done to stop communism in their own country, for their own people? How they're gonna help Cubans in the Middle East and the Hong Kong, the Chinese people in the Hong Kong, if they're incapable of helping themselves first? It's like the story of the frog and the scorpion, um, where the scorpion is stabbing the frog, and they both end up killing themselves, and they both died at the end. So same picture. That's the same concept I see here. Like, you should help yourself before you help others. Like the Women's March, for example, like privileged women in the United States protesting against Trump to get him out of office, except they have nothing going for them. But somehow they cause solidarity in all nationwide where there's women protesting Donald Trump, where Donald Trump wasn't even their president. So I compare it to the same here with Cubans within the United States. How do you start a revolution within the United States if you're not in your homeland and protesting it there where it's required? Like, it's like, if I find it both hypocritical and as well as like there's nothing of substance attached. Like, what are you going to accomplish? I mean, the United States does not have a good history in helping others. Like within the Middle East, I don't see any help from the United States towards the Middle East that has stopped the Sharia law, the Islamic regimes, the bombings, the mutating of kids. I don't know if you noticed, but there's kids who are born, from the new bombs that have been thrown in there, like mutated. Some even look like lobsters. Some are missing fingers. You how are you stopping that? Like you need to this is why I'm against the mob mentality, even when it's from the Republican side as well as the Democratic side. Being sheep is not a good thing, especially when you're being sheep and you're being led by a sinister shepherd. I mean, what's to accomplish protesting Cubans' freedom from within the United States? Would the United States government even do anything for these people, except with the immigration, you know, which is emptying out populations and relocating them elsewhere and expecting those problems to go away? Is that what's expected from all of this? I mean, even though the vaccines are going haywire, like you know now there's a new Delta virus coming on that is saying that it affects younger people because with COVID-19 it's no longer about older people getting it now. They have to spread it out to make sure that their narrative stands. So, and it's not just the Democrats who are pushing for vaccines, but also the Republicans are. I mean, it's whatever's popular in order for you to get your attention. I mean, this is politics. I mean, the sinister side of society. I mean, you know, I've heard of mass. I don't know if you guys ever touched on mass murderers like the Night Stalker and like like serial killers. Okay, the government does what they do at a larger scale. So you know, and not to mention God has them in power because you cannot live in a world of anarchy. You have to live in a world where government makes rules. You abide by them because if there is no, you know, there's no order. What's the purpose of society? It will collapse on itself because there's no leaders, there's no followers, there's nothing. You're just randomly existing for existing, and you cannot live in an insane asylum, obviously, because you're gonna go mad and possibly die from a heart attack, or if not killed. So you cannot live necessarily like that, but you have to acknowledge that these principalities were placed in there to maintain that order, and they were given that authority by God first. So, but it's the people who give consent to these types of actions. So it's kind of comical that they're giving consent to protesting something that has been happening for quite a while without realizing that they themselves are going to possibly end up like humans if they don't save themselves first. I mean, before you love others, you have to have love for yourself first. And I don't see that in America as much as I used to, or at all, really. I mean, it's good to spread democracy and help others, but you need to help yourself first. I mean, what good use is you helping others if you're dead or in communists yourselves. And with the internet censorship, with the inflation, with the vaccines mandates, I mean, you have to still put your mask on in certain places. I mean, with all of that's happening, how can you possibly help a country where communism tells them how they should feel, where they should sleep, what they should eat? It dictates everything that they do, kind of like a parent, like a helicopter parent. So that's just something for the people to consider before taking making their voices heard without sitting down and analyzing things first. So this is my entire take on this Cuban ordeal. Do I support it? No, I do not. Do I consider it, like, have sympathize with it? Yes, I do, because nobody likes to be trapped in a slave country. Nobody likes, you know, and I'm aware of how Cuban cities look. They look deteriorated, like, and the people are brainwashed into thinking that capitalism and freedom is a bad thing, because they've been fed propaganda since age one, and they've been told to hate whatever patriarchal or whatever symbol of freedom they have to relinquish it. So, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the United States, the adopted homeland for many, you need to save the United States yourselves first before you can help others. Otherwise, you won't accomplish nothing. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So good intentions normally produce poor results. So this is my take. God bless, and I'll see you guys very soon.